Welcome back to episode 3 of Project Ozone 3, and I just want to cause a fire on the inside of this portal frame. It's on a new platform off the main platform that we started on, so let's give it a try. It does sometimes take a little bit of chance, so let's hope that actually causes a fire with our wood planks. And just to belt and braces it, well, here's some blaze powder as well. Hopefully at some point that actually causes a fire. Would be nice. And of course that worked just fine. I actually just threw some blaze powder here, and that actually was the thing that triggered it. Eventually it caused a fire on the floor, effectively causing this to actually trigger. So now we have access to the Nether when I don't get any lag. And we can head over and see what's in our world. And here we are in the Nether with some frostburn ice. And I need to construct a quick room so that everything's nice and safe from ghasts. So off I go with my diamond wand, and I'll get that going. We've obviously got a nice open area, which I do like, and we'll see if we can find some ores around. One brief excursion later, and I've got some stuff from the Nether. I'll put it over here for now. So we've got some soul sand, we've got some netherrack, nether lapis ore. I'll come back to that in a second. Cobalt nardite, which is what I wanted primarily. We're going to be using those to make a little bit of manulin for a sword, but I don't really like swords in general. I just want to carry one with me. This one's okay, but the manulin will be better. You can use nether quartz on that. Speaking of nether quartz, I've got some of that as well, and that's going to become very, very useful very shortly. Bits of some inferium we're not going to use yet, and other bits and pieces that I don't particularly need, but you can see them there. Nether lapis ore looks just like cobalt, but like most nether ores in this pack, if you try and mine it, sometimes you get explosions, so you may not want to actually mine the stuff in the nether just yet. However, we did get the soul sand, which we're going to be able to use as well. So from there, we're going to be able to do several things. First of all, we want to get into proper smeltery. I'm not going to bother doing that on camera. I've made the grout here. Clay we get for free effectively now. This is just here. 8 stacks of clay should I actually need it. Sand and gravel is normal. We can just convert that into grout. That should give us a quest. And I'll then process that and make a smeltery. While that's actually going on, we're also going to want some reinforcement modifiers for Tinker's stuff, so make some blank casts. Again, free obsidian, so we now have 5 reinforcement modifiers, and we're going to use that in a little while. I'll just stump that back in the storage crate for Tinkers, and I'm probably going to make a new platform for Tinkers and also for sieving and stuff like that, because that's going to be automatic fairly soon as well. So we now have another quartz, which lets us get into, let's just take a look at the quests. I did upgrade the furnaces up to the emeraldic tier, or the emerald tier. We can't go any further because the endest furnace is next, and that requires ender pearls, which we don't have. I've said I wouldn't claim these quests on camera, but yeah, just that one happened to be there. The next thing we sort of want is to get to black quartz, I think. I want the atomic reconstructor, because that's going to be needed for my shuriken. I normally need them to make a ranged weapon, and I like shurikens, so we need emeraldic crystals, and that needs an atomic reconstructor, which needs a few things: iron casing in particular, and black quartz, which we don't have yet. We can make black quartz easily enough with smoky quartz, which needs nether quartz and some coal, which of course is what I have right there. So we have some smoky quartz, done that in our furnaces, which are now pretty fast, as you can see. That's much faster than before, and that will get dumped down the end over here once the conduit system, once the item ducts get through it soon. Not quite as fast as the accelerated version, but that's fine. Anything else we actually want? Nope, up to 90 rack now. We ready? 1 second. Yeah, that was done, so let's just go and get the iron casing. I need some, that's a piece of sticks. I need some of those. Okay, that will do. Not a specific type of stick, that's good. Don't have to do that. And then there we go. So there's our atomic reconstructor. That's going to need some energy, so I'm going to have to use some method of doing that. I also want some kind of pressure plate. An oak one will do for now, I think. We want to get to one that's not... no, oak's fine. It's floats. Yeah, so survival generator, probably. We can't do magmatic yet. It is well out of our reach. Magmatic generator is a furnace generator, is a machine block, is advanced circuits, yes. Or the magmatic dynamo, you might think, because we're getting free lava, remember? And magmatic dynamo is again out of our reach. It's medium voltage capacitors, which is treated wood planks and alternators and LV capacitors and all kinds of other bits and pieces we don't have yet. So again, we have to deal with what we can do. So the generator, well, let's just go for the survival. There we go. Terrible amounts of stuff, but hey, that's fine. We just need a furnace, some redstone, cobblestone, and iron, and we can get that going. So some iron, some redstone, some cobble. I did upgrade the cobblestone generator to the next tier up. Means I don't have to worry about that for a while. And what else was it? Just a furnace. Yes. So we just get some more, make some more furnaces from here. Okay, and we'll just compress all of that into this, spread it, compressed, and there's our furnace. So we can just then make the survival generator. That will then take coal or whatever else that's burnable that you want to actually use it for. I'm going to put this, well, this, I was going to say, I was going to put it, I need a space, I need more space. This is awful. This floor is not too deep, as in 2 blocks deep. That one is, so I can just put it down here for now, and I will fix it later as far as where I put this. So nicely done. We want the survival generator next to it, so let's put that down. You can see that has no power whatsoever, and this one should give it a little bit of power, although it's going to take up some, well, effectively anything burnable. I'm going to use wood. I've got some planks in my inventory, because essentially that's infinite. It's just not going to produce very much power. You can see that's a tiny amount. I'm not sure how much we need. However, what we're also going to do is just deploy a pressure plate next to it, and that should trigger it if I remember rightly, if there was enough power. So yeah, I will leave that. Oh, no, it did. Yeah. Unless that's configured to, oh no, it's configured automatically just to go right now, and I don't want that. I want to just make a redstone torch and make it activate on pulse, I think. Right click to toggle, pulse, there we go. So that's not going to get used until I actually step on this pressure plate, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. So then we were able to then make the emeraldic crystals once I actually have enough of these. Let's just take 4. We'll see if that's enough, and we'll see where we go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, emeraldic crystals. I can then take these, take them over to our Tinker's area, and we'll just make a basic shuriken, which is over here. Oh, we need the tool forge. Oh no, this is probably going to actually delay me. Tool forge. What do you actually need? You need electrical steel. Guess we're making a sword then. But I have these, and those are going to be what we use for my shuriken once we get to electrical steel. So that can go away. We do actually need, for the other bits and pieces, I needed some invar. We'll come on to what I'm using that for in a minute. But yeah, that's all well and good. So we're ready for a shuriken, but we need electrical steel to get there. Let's move on. And we can actually make the tool forge with things other than the electrical steel, actually. So we actually just need a few pieces of seared stone. So I've just got this set up here with our typical item ducts. That's going to carry on. I'll just set that there. And then behind here, I've just done the same thing with this compactor. Compactor needs pistons, which is what we need the ironvar and the redstone for. So pistons, so we're going to need a lot of them over time. But for now, that's perfectly fine. Invar and red alloy ingot. Sorry, not redstone alloy. I always get those two mixed up. Straightforward otherwise, and you make the compactor. I've just got the fuel chests over here, which have got some bits and pieces in, feeding into the survival generator, which is producing a bit of power, which is then feeding the compactor, and the compactor then will compact whatever you feed into it. At the moment, I've got a servo here. It's just the basic tier of servo, so this is going to be improved later. Just feeding only iron, copper, and gold into it. That goes in, comes back out, and you see it produces the chunks over here, so I don't need to worry about it. I did already make the grout, of course, but you can't just put it into a furnace. You actually have to put it through a smeltery, which means this sort of thing will bootstrap the main smeltery. Once the main smeltery is online, you can use that to make a lot more quickly, and from there you can basically then scale up. You may have to rebuild the smeltery a few times, I think, if I remember rightly. So I've not got a bucket on me, but that's going to need, oh, I need one more. Come on. I need to make a redstone clock. Do we have those redstone clock? Or clock of any kind, really? Clock? Clock? Yes, the redstone clock is the typical recipes. That's really cheap. How about an actual timer? because the timer is even better if we can make it. Constant and that's out of the that's not being made. That version of the timer can be made. Yeah, so you can set this to a number of ticks, and that's much better than the redstone clock in that you can usually stop them with a lever, but and then once they start, they will tick at a certain rate, and you can set the rate and everything that works perfectly well. Let's just have another one of you. Let's just take those 3, and we just need some redstone for the rest. So let's get a stack of that. That will do fine, I want to say. So let's just spread that out, and then oh wait. Can I not make redstone blocks that way? Redstone blocks. Redstone. Blocks. Block of redstone. Why is a block of redstone red ally ingot? I mean, it's fine, I guess, but a little bit unexpected. But hey, this is KAPPA mode, or indeed Project Ozone. So yeah, that only makes 7 with a full stack of redstone. That may take more time to get that than I have on camera. I'll make those off camera. And an expensive few minutes later with some red alloy ingots, we end up with 4 blocks of redstone, which I can then hopefully use this to upgrade to a tool forge, which will then unlock everything like hammers and everything else. Yeah, here we go. So shurikens, etc. you can make now. So if I just swap those in. Material value 4 emerald crystals. Yeah, can I not make them with this? Knife pattern? Maybe I need more emerald crystals. Or maybe it just requires casting, so that's perfectly fine. I've made a knife blade cast, and it's 1 ingot per, so let's just... yes, I made some more emerald crystals. Yes, they're going to be wasted. Don't worry, I have a knife blade cast somewhere. There we go. And you, hopefully, are going to smelt up pretty quickly, I would have thought. Medium. And we'll get those made into knife blades. They'll go together, make a shuriken, and we'll have at least a basic range weapon to get started with if we need to defend ourselves in the nether, other than this sword. Otherwise, we can alloy together manually. You've seen that before, I imagine, but I want to wait for the smeltery to get as much out of that as possible. There we go, 4 emerald knife blades, and we want to choose the shuriken. Same in all 4 for the moment, and let's just say basic shuriken. Let's just call it extreme shuriken. One of the viewers actually originally came up with this. I can never remember the name. It's also linked on Reddit somewhere as well. You end up pretty overpowered. I'll do it step by step, and if I can find the name of them, I'll try and put it in one of the upcoming episodes. But we end up with an extreme shuriken, which is not extreme to start with, but it lets us throw things, and that's good. I'm going to immediately go and grab and use up whatever modifiers I can. Where are my modifiers gone? Oh, over in this crate. And we'll use them to immediately add lots of reinforcement on it as much as I can. And I want to get to at least 5 of them to be able to get to unbreakable, but because I only have 3 modifiers, I'm not going to get there just yet. So I will just upgrade 3 times. Yeah, and then we're out of modifiers. We need to level it up a little bit more. So that's going to be perfectly fine. And ammo is 65 out of 65. We have some stuff to repair it as needed. And I have a good reason to go and visit the nether. You can, of course, do this with a mob farm or something like that. And go and shoot some things. So yeah, a brief test in the nether. And we can get rid of these spore creepers, hopefully. There we go. And some other bits and pieces. Don't shoot the sort of creepy, sort of white ghost guys, ghasts, not ghasts, ghouls, something like that. They spawn brutes. They will one-shot you. I have no armor at the moment. Don't do that. What I actually did want to actually pick up as well is some of this heat sand. You'll find it all over the place. Is there any tool I can pick that up with relatively easily? No, I need a shovel for it. Well, I'll come back for it later if that's the case. Yeah, because heat sand is useful as an alternative for the heat sand. It's useful for the crucible heat sources 120 times, so that's kind of pretty much perfect. Also got some loot bags, so let's just take a look at what's in those. This one has a music disc, that's useless, well, at least for the moment. And this one has some mana steel and gigapickle herbs. The mana steel I will gratefully take. And anything else? Spore from Netherrex? No. Anything I can use that for? Brewing, nothing important just yet. Okay, so I would like to take this with me. In fact, if I pick that up, will it actually just break it permanently? I don't mind breaking 1. No, I can take it with me this way. That's fine. So I will take this with me, and that will improve our lava generation. It should 6 times the speed, I guess, what we currently have. So head back to the base and do a bit more XP into your shuriken. Get it leveled up a little bit more. But for the moment, we're done here. Given that I do have lack of armor, we're definitely going to want to improve that by factorizing some coal. I'm going to need, let's see, I'm going to want 36 of this, I guess. We can't make coal blocks any other way, so having them made by the factorizer is perfectly fine. And we're going to be able to use that to make the workbench, this recipe. And the workbench will let us start making, basically, armor. And you can see over here, we have those options. If we just go for like iron armor, for example, iron chestplate or something. In this pack, it's made by upgrading the previous tier. So to get to even iron, we have to go through lead, through nickel, through chain, through constantan, electrum, silver, golden, void crystal, tin, coal, copper, into leather. So we're going to start with leather. That's the basic tier that we've got. And how can we make leather? We can make it from woven cotton, and woven cotton is just string. So that's going to be really easy, given that we've got essentially infinite string over here. I've got like how many stacks? 5 stacks of string. I'm just going to convert 4 over, why not? And just have those made into the woven cotton. There we go, 64. We're not going to need any more than that, to be honest, but hey, we have it available. And that gets us basically the leather armor tier, just fine. So leather chest plate. In fact, it's going to be the usual formation, isn't it? So we hopefully, oh, or not. What's the leather chest again? Leather. Oh, we have to make the actual leather first. Oh yeah, and that's going to be the sort of eye symbol. Fine. Yep. So maybe I will need 2 stacks. Let's just put 1 there, 1 there. Balance them all out. And just convert them all over into leather. And 54, that is definitely more than enough for any kind of thing. So back to the usual thing. So leather chest plates. There's our pants. There's the hat and our boots. So throughout the game, you're going to actually go and do this and upgrade to the next tier or whatever you can afford. Why no leather boots? Oh, okay, that has to be in the top one. Yeah, okay. Fine, leather boots. So at least that gets us some armor while I'm actually in the nether. Not that that is terribly much at all. Also, one quick thing on these furnaces. Whenever you upgrade them by a tier, pick them up so that you get registered for the quest and then put it back down and then you carry on going. So yeah, we can then upgrade our leather in the workbench to whatever. So we can get to copper easily enough. Well, that doesn't really change the stats whatsoever. Coal, again, we need blocks of coal, so we have to go through the factorizer. So that means like 24 coal blocks. It's quite a bit. And then from there, we can get into the metals. So tin we can get to. Void crystal we probably can get to as well. In fact, is that any better stats? It's still no better stats, but void crystal we can make using our new atomic reconstructor with just some coal. So again, half a stack of coal or so, and you can get through that stage. And then into aluminium, which we can do as well. I'm not going to do this on camera, by the way. I'm just showing you because, hey, at least you know which way around. Silver we can also do. Electrum we can do. It's just a bit more expensive. And constantan is maybe the first one we can't. Constantan blend is nickel and copper. So yeah, we can carry on through all of those steps and get to those. I'm not going to show them on camera at all. You'll just see my armor upgrading in the background throughout the actual playthrough. Okay, so with armor sorted out, we've got a ranged weapon sorted out, nether, we've got some upgrades onto the new platform. Therefore, just a quick upgrade here from the usual thing. I've put it onto our new platform, which is just upstairs from down there. And we've got item ducts here, we've got fluid ducts here, they're controlled by levers, etc. So they should all start automatically feeding once this compressed cobblestone. You can do the grout, as it says in the quest, that also works into seared stone. But since we have compressed cobblestone easily, then, well, I'll just want to see, make sure that lava will actually heat this up. It should do just fine. And that should then transfer into, it's like a couple of blocks each. Yeah, there we go. And you can see here that it's being pushed straight into there. Cool. And on this side, they should start feeding out to get Sieve bricks. Sieve bricks will upgrade these components into the full smeltery ones, so we just have to wait for that for a little while. We're also going to get some seared stone from in here to get the stone blocks, these things, and we should end up with everything we need. Okay, so I'll see you once the smeltery is built. Probably either a 3x3 internal, or if I feel ambitious, a 5x5 internal, just to get us started. We could build something larger later. Do remember to build it either, this floor is double thick, but if you don't have that, remember to build up a few stages. In fact, even with me, I'm going to build it up by one, so I won't set the stone into the floor here. I will leave it on top of this wood, and then we'll build upwards from there. It just tends to make things a little bit easier when routing or routing item ducts, fluid ducts, and everything else. So, yep, up to construction. And the last couple of steps, we've got the entire smeltery set up, just as we did with the sort of mini one. Everything is pretty much upgraded from the porcelain version, and you can see I've got an auto routing system out of these bottom things. So I just put in one piece of cobalt, which turns now into 2 ingots. So that's nicely doubled automatically. And then I just want to make sure this is feeding into our lava, which will be simple enough. 1, 2. Get set up with a servo, and that should be it. Yep, there it is. And this doesn't need to be a very fast thing. It doesn't even need to have any automatic cobblestone generator, but I will put one on, just a slow one. Again, we don't need to upgrade this to heat sand because it just the smelter doesn't consume things that fast just yet. So yeah, it's all ready and it's all running, which means I also did a manual saw blade, which is going to be handy. We can swap that out, and then we can also cast a cobalt pickhead. I think that might be 3 though. It is 3, so we need 1. In fact, I'm gonna put 2 more in because I could also do a couple of other things as well, and get like an axe head cast and a shovel head cast and stuff like that in cobalt. So that'll be quite useful. Those are quick upgrades, and I don't need to do anything else. So smeltery sorted. To take that one off the list, it should be a quest in here. Don't think we get anything for it that's particularly good. Ooh, there's we have 5 rack. I'll do that later. Another 5 rack. Iota. That's those are all of our quests. Armors, and it goes up through multiple tiers. So yeah, do be aware of that. I could take one of these greater loot chests. Actually, it's 40 though. I'll leave it for now. Anyway, we should have a smeltery reward. That is just 5 rack again. Nothing special. Fine, so we've got that out of the way. And there's our manual upgrade. We got that into the broadsword. We got cobalt level into the pick and the mattock, which both add a kind of go faster the longer you mine or the longer you actually break stuff. Effect. That's what momentum does anyway. And also a manual knife blade for the shuriken. Don't put it on yet though, because that actually uses up more durability, and this thing isn't unbreakable yet. So we want to keep that hold of that for when. For whenever I get the unbreakable, which will take me a little while to actually do killing stuff. You can see I'm on 100 of 500 right now. So we need a mob farm at some point, and I can just use that to level this up. But for the moment, everything is good. And next thing up, we're going to take some electrum, which I've just made, turn that into a filter, and then we're going to show you where we've moved everything around to. So we've got this, which is a accumulator. I'm not going to take any more of this. I thought we'd need more than one, but it turns out we're probably going to be just fine with one. For our use anyway. And I'm just going to get a reinforced filter and convert all of those over. So I've got 16 of those, and I've got 16 reinforced servos. Differences are about 3 times faster and twice as fast if you do liquids with them. So very much worthwhile the upgrade, and they're only electrum. So we've got gold and silver coming out of our ears right now. Not for long though. So downstairs we'll head down here, and do I have item ducts? I do have item ducts. I put in a new floor, obviously. So nothing obvious down here at the moment. And in here in the middle, we've got our sieves. Now, this is a 9x9 array. I've got a feeling it only goes up to 8x8, but because everything's odd numbered in terms of the platform, I didn't want to offset it, so 9x9 it is, and there'll be an extra row that isn't used maybe. This is now in the center, and if we just get some cobblestone, if I just pop some in the corner over here, you'll see it gets picked up just fine, even before it hits the ground. And it's in here. You can configure it so that it will only pick up certain things. Shift right click, and you can have these options over here.
I don't need that. This is literally just to pick up all the drops. And then we're going to filter them. Well, we're going to do a couple of things, first of all. One, we're going to filter upstairs into, well, up there, basically. And to do that, I'm going to need to just go and get a crate. Get a crate in there, and then we'll filter all the stuff that can be combined, compacted, and send them up there for processing. Everything else, we're just going to send out here somewhere, and we can do that with the use of filters. So we're going to set a reinforced servo to extract everything, and then a filter to only accept certain things into blocks. So let me just set up the chests and crates and stuff, and I'll show how everything works. That was a quick setup. All I needed to do really was set this up. So let's just try it. Let's see if I got this right or not. So I'm just going to dump everything in here that is going to be coming out of our sort of sifting. And that's the buffer chest, of course, the buffer crate. Then it goes up here and it's going to choose one of these two things. And if I've got this right, it should choose this one for anything that can be combined, which is good. And anything that can't be will go in here. And that looks like it's actually working pretty well. And we'll see if it has problems otherwise in a minute. Yeah, it's working well. So all we've done here is put a filter on and set use mod owner on and turn off everything else apart from the obviously whitelist. So this one's a whitelist, this one's a blacklist. Same thing, just drop in ex nihilo creatio sort of items, and it will use the mod name to actually match. And then we have this going so that we have everything we need for the combiner, or not the combiner, compactor in here. It's fine. So let's just take that out, and then we can replace this with the actual compactor. I know it's called something. I do have it. So there is the compactor. That should deliver everything. And let me just grab my crate back, and then just to double check, we'll just dump everything back in, and off it should go. It will take some power to do that, so we do actually need to set up some power. Otherwise, we should see them all popping into the top here. Recursive, I'm going to turn off. There's no need for it in this particular case. Always on. Try 2x2 first, and then we just need some power. So same as before, we're going to a survivalist generator. And then from the outside, in fact, let me just grab that for a second and make sure I've got a hole in the wall first. And it's going to export it up here somewhere in a second. There it is. And then from the outside, I can actually just feed in some wood, basically. Doesn't really much matter there. Do I have that hole still here? It is one deep, I think. Yep. So I just need to make sure wood is being sent up there and into the wall, basically, for that to be continually fed, or indeed coal, something like that. Now, we've got everything ready to really feed into the compactor. From there, it's more a matter of just feeding everything up into probably a crate, just as another buffer, because, hey, buffers are great for that kind of thing until everything goes wrong, and then you're in trouble. But we don't mention that. We don't. That's perfectly fine. So let's grab that, set this on always, and it should pull out from the bottom only when that's dealt with. I don't need to do anything else here. It should be automatically working. Let me just grab some wood, and we'll just see whether everything starts to work. I definitely want some boots at some point that actually have some speed on them. It's really feeling quite slow at the moment, and I want to actually improve that going forwards. So let's just put this in. Then we have to automate the sieving itself, and that, well, regeneration of, sand or gravel or something. And then we have to automate the sieving itself. The sieving gets automated by water wheels. So if you have a look at ex nihilo at X, wow, there's too much stuff there. But there it is. So we have a grinder, nothing there. But this one, auto sifter, it doesn't actually do anything by itself. All that it really does is connect to the bottom of these. And then you attach a shaft to it, and then you attach water wheels to that, and they start spinning. Each water wheel that you add adds a certain amount of rotational speed, and it is done in such a way that the more you add, the faster everything gets, which is not how water wheels would actually work like that. But hey, don't question, it's perfectly fine. Each one you add makes the shaft spin a little bit faster, which gets turned through 90 degrees here, straight up and underneath the sieves, which starts them shaking. And of course, there's an array of 9x9 of them, which 8 of them are in use or something. So 8x8, I should say. So then that should start sieving. And then you just have to feed it with, well, whatever. Some of these things you can get ready right now, but it won't work until we get into, I think it's immersive engineering. We're going to need creosote. Treated wood. It's one of these things. There we go. Yep, creosote. And creosote is made in a coke oven, as you might imagine. Yes, it's immersive engineering. So we can set this thing up, but it won't really do anything until we do that. Let me just put cobblestone in there for now. So we are going to, in fact, not this side. It's going to be bringing a shaft out this way. Okay, and then that was going to connect all the way out here. And from there, we'll be able to then automate it out to a water wheel sort of line. But we need to wait for that. At least we got the infrastructure in place, and we now basically have something that separates everything out and sends everything upstairs. We got that automatically going up to our buffer chest there, which has got all the actual stuff we want, which is good. And then this one, we just need to feed out somewhere. We need to just send it out the wall or something along those kind of lines. Doesn't much matter, but we can even send it backwards this way, I think, even. But yeah, I think I'm going to send it out the other side. Yep, so we're just going to send it out this way. It just means I don't have to route cables or use the hammer much. It's going to be straightforward. There we go. And that will get sent out with, once it has somewhere to connect to, with that. So we can connect it to some storage drawers or something along those kind of lines. I think we're approaching the stage where we can actually get a storage drawer controller going. There are some things we can't do, but like compacting drawers, but storage drawers controller, or the drawer controller, let's double check. Are you now doable? Because that will be very, very handy. Aluminium plate we can do. Perido or peridot is sievable from crushed netherrack. And we have netherrack, but not a lot of it. So what I want to do is, I've already reinforced the cobalt pickaxe. It's got no modifiers left, but it's got 4 reinforced on there. And I'm going to basically go into the nether and go and try and level it up, get some more experience on it, so that I can then go and just use it for lots and lots and lots of netherrack. And that will then let me bring a lot back, get it crushed, get it sieved, and then we can get what we need. Anyway, that's approaching the end of today's episode. There's bits and pieces left for me to do, but I'm going to do them all off camera. You know the idea. You've seen all this stuff over here, so we know we can already set things up. And you know, there's no issue with doing that. So if you've got any questions, if you have seen something that's wrong, or if you have want to know how to do something in your own world, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, feel free to like and subscribe on the video. That would be very much appreciated for the channel. And of course, you can, yes, you can always click on the bell if you want notifications of more episodes. Other than that, thanks for watching episode 3. With episode 4, we'll head on into, well, maybe immersive engineering. That seems to be the most obvious place to go. But maybe just I'll show you at the start of the episode just what I've done with the sorting and stuff like that. Then we can get rid of a lot of stuff in here, hopefully. And we'll keep a few furnaces around, but this center section should now be getting nice and filtered out. I've got a section here down here for portals. I've got solids basically coming from nothing over here. Maybe one of these 2 sides will have to be for liquids, because we've got a little bit set up there. But yeah, we're going to want more liquids coming out. And yeah, good to go. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.